Hello everyone, this is Ayush Singh from the Logical Traders. In this video, I'll be showing you my top 3 trades that helped me turn 1.35 lakhs into over 26 lakhs in just 1 year. And I know many of you are new to the channel and are probably thinking that I'm lying or using clickbaits. But I've already shown the complete proof of my claims by logging into my Zerodha account and showing the profit and loss report in the first video. So if you still have doubts, you can check out that video. But I really want you to watch this video first because it's going to be super educational. You will learn a lot of new things about trading, as I'll also give you a detailed explanation for taking these 3 trades. So let's get started. Now I'll start with my third best trade for the year, and that was shorting silver. I used a combination of price action, that is technical analysis, macroeconomic analysis and intermarket analysis. So first let's start with the macroeconomic analysis, and it's pretty simple. As you can see from this image, there's been a strong inverse correlation between the dollar and the price of gold, especially since the 1970s, meaning that if one goes up, the other comes down. And there's a reason for that. From 1944 to early 1970, the world had the Bretton Woods system, under which all the currencies of all countries were backed by the US dollar, and the dollar was backed by gold at the price of $35 per ounce. So what this means is that let's say if India's RBI has $35 and wants to exchange it for gold, so the US Federal Reserve would have to give India 1 ounce of gold for that $35. And the world had this system because the US had over 60% of world's gold reserves. But in the 1950s and 60s, the US printed a lot of dollars to fund the Vietnam Wars and other social programs. And since the supply of dollar increased but the amount of gold US had remained the same, because you cannot print gold, it could not fulfill its obligation of giving 1 ounce of gold for every $35 because it did not have so much gold. So in the early 1970s, the US ended the Bretton Woods system and the countries could no longer exchange their dollars for gold. And since a lot of dollars was printed but the quantity of gold remained the same, the price of gold went from $35 in 1970s to almost 900 in 1980s, as you can see from this chart, while the dollar fell in the same duration. And then in 1980, this reversed because the Federal Reserve again cut the money supply, which caused gold to fall to $300, whereas the dollar went from 80 to 160. And now that we have established this inverse correlation, let's move to the technical and intermarket analysis. On 16th September 2020, I made this Twitter thread and posted on my profile. And the first tweet said that gold is in a descending triangle and a definitive close below $1,910 can open gateway to $1,800. And as you can see from the chart, gold was indeed in a descending triangle pattern, making lower highs while making similar lows. And in the same thread, I also wrote about the US dollar, and the dollar was breaking out of this falling wedge pattern, and it was also breaking out on strong triple divergence on RSI, meaning that there was a good chance of dollar moving higher, which would push gold prices lower. And as you can see from both these charts, that the inverse correlation between the dollar and gold that we talked about was holding true, as gold prices were increasing from March to September, whereas the dollar index fell from over 100 to 92 during the same period. So since I was confident about a breakout in dollar index and a fall in gold prices, I went ahead and shorted silver. And why did I decide to short silver? Well, that's because, as there's a popular saying, that silver is gold on steroids, meaning that if gold goes up 1%, silver often goes up more than 1%, a lot more. And same holds true for when gold falls, silver falls a lot more than 1%. So I shorted silver one day after this thread, and this is what happened to the price of silver in the following days. As you can see, silver fell from $27 per ounce to $22 per ounce in just 3 days. However, I did not hold for this entire period, as I sold just after one day, as silver was down over 7% on that day. And because of this, I ended up making a profit of over 8 lakhs on this trade, and I had posted about this on my Twitter profile as well. So now on to my second best trade, and this was again in silver, but this time it was on the long side. And don't worry, not all my trades were in the commodities segment. My top trade in fact was in Nifty options, so stay tuned for that. And my reason for buying silver was again a combination of fundamental, technical and intermarket analysis. So first let's start with the fundamental reason. So as you all know, the world was closed down back in mid 2020 and the major silver producing countries, that is Mexico and Peru, were completely shut down for months as well. And as a result of this, the supply of silver had fallen drastically, as you can see from these two charts. But silver is a widely used industrial metal along with being a precious metal. It is used in solar panels, electric cars and a whole lot of other things. So due to this supply demand mismatch, I was confident that silver price was very likely to shoot up, and I had even bought physical silver for long term investment due to this reason. Now moving on to intermarket and technical reasons. The intermarket reason was that the gold to silver ratio was towards the higher side of historical average, and this was very important. So what this ratio signifies is the price of gold in comparison to the price of silver. So say if the ratio is at 50 and I have 1 gram of gold and I decide to exchange that 1 gram of gold for silver, so I will get 50 grams of silver for that 1 gram of gold. So the ratio is 50, and for thousands of years this ratio has always oscillated between 10 and 95. But in March 2020 it crossed those levels and reached a high of 125, and this was happening for the first time in thousands of years. And this meant that silver had become extremely undervalued as compared to gold. And the ratio of the quantity of gold to silver that is in the earth's crust is roughly 1 is to 18. So the ratio of supply was 1 is to 18, but the ratio of price had gone up to 1 is to 125. So I waited for the ratio to fall a little to tell me that the trend had changed, and when it did, I used technical analysis to enter silver, and I was topped out actually for my first two trades before I was eventually successful. So now let's move to the charts to see the technical reason for buying silver. And first off, as you can see, silver here was in an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and the neckline, let me rewind the chart, and as you can see the neckline had been respected for many years. It was very old neckline. It had been following this line from 2010. So as you can see, silver was forming an inverted head and shoulders, and one thing about head and shoulder patterns that I have discovered is that the asymmetrical ones work much better than the symmetrical ones, and this is not something that a lot of people know. So as you can see, this one is an asymmetrical head and shoulder pattern. The left one, the left shoulder is really big, the head is really steep, and whereas the right shoulder doesn't even touch the neckline in the first attempt. It straight away breaks out. So let's see how this trade played out. I bought silver in around mid-June, and this is what happened after that. So as you can see, this was in this wedge, so I bought it before the breakout, and then it after the breakout it consolidated for two days and then kept moving higher. And this is where the big moves came, and this candle is where I sold. It was on 27 July, and it continued moving higher after that, and that was a bit disappointing for me, but still I could not complain since I had been so successful with this trade. I ended up making a profit of about 13 lakhs from this trade, making it my second best trade of last year. Now before I move on, if you are enjoying this video, please consider liking it by clicking on the thumbs up button, and if you found the content educational, please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. So now moving on to my last trade, and this was shorting Nifty in February 2020 using put options with different strike prices and expiries. Now it's a common misconception among traders that you need to see charts or price actions to take a trade, but that's not always true, because I took this trade without looking at a single chart and turned an investment of just 95,000 into over 14 lakhs. And how did I do it? Well, if you see my first video, you'd know that I've been a financial blogger working for foreign companies, and the same is the case for my partners at the Logical Traders. And after having written thousands of articles, me and my partners have established a great record in the international markets. I was voted the second best blogger in the year 2014, whereas my partner is currently ranked among the top 10 financial bloggers on Wall Street. and due to this career we were able to spot this opportunity. Now, I'm sure you all know the reason why the markets fell in the first quarter of 2020. Unfortunately, taking the name of the disease that caused the crash negatively impacts my videos with its reach because of YouTube's algo. So, I'll not be saying the name, and I'll blur it out if it appears on the screen. But I'm sure you all know what I'm referring to. So back to my trade. When you're trading based on charts, you are assuming that the market has priced in all the news and major events in the present and potential events of the future. So the level of Nifty reflects all the information that is currently available out there, and most of the time this is true because markets are very efficient in pricing in all the present and potential future events. This is why you see many times a stock fall despite reporting good earnings or some other good news. This is because the markets knew about the good news that was about to come, and the stock price had already moved up before the news even became official. This is why there's a saying on Wall Street, buy the rumor, sell the news. However, sometimes the markets become inefficient in pricing in, and that's when you get an opportunity. So, since me and my partners were writing articles, we stayed up to date with all the major news developments, and so we saw it initially spreading in China at a rapid pace, but the market kept moving higher during that time. So, I saw an inefficiency in the market and capitalized on it. I started writing several articles predicting a devastating market crash in February. The articles were read by over 5 lakh people around the world, and you can even read those on ccn.com if you like. Now, you may think that I got lucky with this trade, but that was absolutely not the case, and let me tell you why. In the first week of February, I shorted Nifty using a capital of about 60,000 rupees, but the market kept rising, and my position was at a loss of about 60%. And every trader will tell you that it's a rule that you should never add to a losing position. But in that moment, I remembered a quote from Jack Schwager's book Market Wizards. He was interviewing the legendary trader Ed Seykota, who had 5 key rules. His fourth rule was to follow the rules without a question, and his fifth rule was to know when to break the rule. And what he meant by that was sometimes it's okay to follow your gut or your instincts. And that's what I did, and I added to my losing position by buying 30,000 rupees worth of puts again. And for the first few days after it, the market moved sideways and then it started crashing, and the crash was brutal. And I even tweeted about this in February that I was expecting Nifty to crash to under 10,000 level because of you know what. So it was not luck because one, I had conviction so much so that I added to my losing position, and two, I held the entire position without selling even one contract for over a month. I had put in just 95,000, but my profit was fluctuating by lakhs of rupees every day or even in a few hours. Now, this is a screenshot that I took of my entire position just a few days before selling it, and I had posted this on Twitter as well. And I'll never forget the day I sold my position completely. It was 12th March, sometime around 1 p.m. And after I sold, the Nifty crashed even more that day, and the next day it hit lower circuit. So even with such a good trade, I was left with a slightly bitter taste in my mouth. So that's it. Those were my best 3 trades of 2020. And if you enjoyed the videos, again, please consider liking it by clicking on the thumbs up button. If you found it educational, please subscribe to the channel. And again, if you have any suggestions or any tips for me about what to make in the next video, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.